listening to Combat Sports UK.
Combat Sports UK.
Welcome back to Combat Sports UK YouTube channel. This is the series called Sleeper Fights, where we look at every UFC card and we pick out a couple of fights that we think are going unnoticed and we think will over-deliver on that card. This weekend it's the first pay-per-view of the year, UFC 311, Arman Tsarukyan taking on Islam Makhachev in the lightweight title fight, and we've also got a co-main title fight in the bantamweight division between Umar Nurmagomedov and Merab Dvalishvili. My name is Brandon and I am joined today by Mr. Dan Evans. As always, we are going to give you a couple of sleeper fights here that you should tune into this weekend. Dan, would you like to kick us off? What fight is jumping out at you on this card?
I'll kick us off. We'll go right down to I think it's on the early prelims. I think it might be the early prelims featured bout. You're looking at Grant Dawson versus Diego Ferreira. Now, Diego Ferreira at 39 years of age, 40 next week. Why on earth he's still fighting, no one knows, but he's winning fights, and he is. He's winning fights in great fashion. Like I said, two fight win streak now. Has just come off a great win against Mateusz Rebecki, who was in a fight of the year contender against Orlby last year. So I think Diego Ferreira still going strong, doing it for, the older generation. Now he's up against Grant Dawson. Now Grant Dawson is, I believe he's got 12 fights in the UFC. He's only got one loss. Now that one loss is that, I don't want to say freakish because I feel like that's disrespectful to Bobby Green, but a 30-second knockout in his first main event was not something that many people picked. Like I said, Dawson was a heavy favourite, I think, for that fight. I think Bobby Green really caught him and surprised him early. For Grant Dawson, this is a man who's been bubbling away for quite some time in the lightweight division. He's into the rankings, out of the rankings. He's always on those fringes. Now he needs statement wins to get into those rankings, to get the opportunities that someone like Paddy Pimblett will be getting. UFC lightweight is the toughest division, not only just get into the rankings, but then to climb those rankings because of the quality of the division. If Grant Dawson can get a massive win here and call out someone like Jalen Turner, that's his opportunity there into the top 10, into the top 15. So for Grant Dawson, it's a really great opportunity. But again, I go back to it. At 39 years of age, Diego Ferreira is still winning fights and winning fights in great fashion. So I think it's a really, really exciting fight. I think for lightweight, it's always going to produce excellent bouts. Whether you're looking at two unranked lightweights making their UFC debut, it does tend to always throw up a bit of a storm, really. So I think for Dawson versus Ferreira, that's my pick. Sleeper fight. I'm not seeing many people talk about it. Like you said, everyone's going to talk about that main card. Is littered with excellent fights. We pull one out from the early prelims. Make sure you're on Fight Pass. Dawson versus Ferreira. Hoping for a big performance from either man. Diego Ferreira, 39 years of age, a late title shot. You never know.
You never know. You never know. That is a very, very interesting matchup, and it is a very good pick for a sleeper fight. Hopefully Grant Dawson gets the win and jumps on the microphone. Last time out, he gave his wife the most deadly shout out I have heard in a long time on the microphone. That clip went viral at the time, so very, very, very good pick there, Dan. Very good pick. It was one that I looked at myself, but I have decided to go for the heavyweight fight between Jailton Almeida and Sergey Spivak. On paper, it's maybe not the most entertaining fight. Look, Jailton Almeida and the word entertainment probably shouldn't even be mentioned in the same sentence, but these are two top 7 heavyweights. These are two of the best heavyweights in the world going at it, and it's on the prelims of this card, which shows how good this card is. Almeida's only lost once in the UFC against Curtis Blades. He took Curtis Blades down in the first round. From memory, off the top of my head, took Curtis Blades down the first round, won the first round. Second round, he went to do the same, and Curtis Blades caught him a big hammer fist. Elbow. What was it? Elbow on the way down.
I think it was a few elbows, yeah.
A few elbows on the way down, and 9-8 Jailton Almeida. So Almeida did look like a really good contender before that, and I still think he is a really good contender. And he's coming up here against Sergey Spivak, who is improving all the time. Spivak will want to keep this fight on the feet. Almeida is very good at landing that double leg takedown, getting top control and landing ground and pound. Spivak will need to get the respect early on the feet. They try and stop Jailton Almeida doing that. And it's interesting as well because in terms of the heavyweight rankings, the winner here could get a really big matchup against the likes of Curtis Blades. Could be a rematch for Almeida, or even Pavlovich is higher up in the rankings. Because of the way this division is played out, we're still waiting on that fight that everyone wants to see between Tom Aspinall and John Jones. Cyril Gane has just fought Volkov. Volkov has already fought Pavlovich. Gane's not going to fight down the rankings and fight Pavlovich after getting that bullshit win over Volkov, might I add. So there is a bit of a stalemate between the top 4 and 5 of this division. So the winner here in this fight between Sergey Spivak and Jelton Almeida will have a really good chance of trying to climb them rankings and get a big fight against the likes of Blazer Pavlovich after. So there's a hell of a lot at stake here in this fight. On paper, maybe not the most entertaining fight, but it's in the heavyweight division. Come on, anything could happen. One shot is all it takes. That's why we love watching heavyweight fighting. So that is my sleeper fight for UFC 311. Thank you very much for tuning in to this video. This is a new style we're going to be doing. We've scrapped the long form podcast and we're going to be doing different short style content. So this is the sleeper fight series that we're going to start. We're going to do it for every card where we'll pick 1 or 2 fights that we really like the look of, usually from the prelims, because the ones in the prelims are usually the ones that go unnoticed and the ones that people aren't tuning into. As always, subscribe to the Combat Sports UK YouTube channel. Make sure and check it out for more UFC 311 content. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you in the next one.